So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with...
I'm Helen.
I'm Lucas.
I'm Tyler, and we're Carly Cosgrove.
And we're going to ask them some questions today about their upcoming album, See You in Chemistry. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
It's pretty overwhelming.
Yeah, people really like the new music, and it's a blessing.
Oh yeah. Just listening to it earlier today. Album fucking rocks, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
Of course. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, the album title, I guess, is kind of we tried to think. I mean, we were actually struggling to think of a title. We ended up deciding that the final track on the record served as the best, I guess, kind of encapsulation of the title, and we've kind of twisted the meaning into being more about, like, you know, kind of knowing that, you know, we will, like, knowing that a person who is kind of working towards bettering themselves is going to meet that goal at a later time. Over the course of this record, more or less, I'm writing about how I've kind of found the floor, how I start from a spot where I think I've made a lot of, you know, personal progress, and I realized that a lot of it was, you know, not as tangible as I once thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I spend a lot of the record reflecting on kind of that realization and how it kind of bums me out. And I guess that last thing is kind of, you know, this more wistful and more optimistic look into a future where I do finally get it, and where I do finally understand the, you know, the more tangible and the more immediate and the more successful ways to reach a point where I want to be.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
And the cover art.
Yeah, so the cover was done by one of our friends, Skylar. She's unusual bitch on Instagram. I don't know if I could curse. But,
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
But yeah.
But yeah, she did an awesome job on it. I don't think a lot of people have actually seen it yet. We haven't
we tried to make it a little bit of a secret, but
essentially it goes with the same theme. If you take a look at it, it's, you know, a big warped. Essentially, it's a big warped image of Philadelphia, and it goes with the theme of the music. You know, finding your way. So, you know, we took a picture of our home, and I think warped is a good way to describe it. You know, twists and turns. You know, no right way to see the image.
Mm-hmm. And it's our home in a way that we don't really recognize it. It's ourselves in a way that we're maybe unfamiliar or uncomfortable with. Mm-hmm. It's, you know, when you're trying to find your way back up out of a emotional or mental valley.
That makes sense.
Wow.
yeah, I think we actually we didn't give the artist like any direction really. We sent her the music and we're like, draw kind of what you feel it represents, and that's what she came back with, and we fell in love.
That's super cool.
Wow.
So can you guys tell us a little bit about your writing process for this album?
Lucas, you wanna?
It depends, touch on that? Song by song, honestly.
Yeah, we've been writing this for like a little over 2 years at this point.
Yeah, I think it was the the very beginning of 2020.
We started writing.
Started early.
Oh yeah,
we
did. Yeah.
We were demoing probably one of the first songs of this in probably late 2019.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's been quite a bit. I would say for some of the songs, it was super collaborative. So no, you know, Lucas would shoot us over a riff. I would say, you know, that would sound cool if we did this, and make some, you know, adjustments on the way. Other songs, some of the later stuff on the album, Lucas, you know, wrote front to back. Helen and I put some parts in, we mix it around, but definitely, you know, more on Lucas's end.
Sometimes you get really bummed out, and then you go into like this weird like trance, and then there's a song.
Yeah, and it just like it's born and it's beautiful, and you're like, damn, I made that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget who said it, but like I think someone said there's like an adage of like, it doesn't matter if it takes you like a month or a minute to write it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Some of the songs definitely took like a hot minute. Like I think the first one we wrote, we were working on for a while.
Yeah, I think the first song we started was the last one we finished.
Yeah,
Oh,
we had
Christ.
stuff like changing it in the studio. Like it did not. It never
Yeah, it was
really
a process.
came to fruition until later.
Cool. So I want you three to tell us your favorite lyric off this album and the meaning behind it.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's hard.
That is hard. It's also hard because it's not all released yet. So
Yeah.
might be
Good.
giving.
Yeah.
Lucas, what do you think? I feel like
I
So-
feel like I need to look at the Google Doc.
just so you know, Lucas wrote all the lyrics to this album.
Mhm.
Opposed to like maybe the hook on one
Like
of the
on
unreleased.
online.
On one of the unreleased, so like
Yeah.
it's kind so I feel like this is more of a question for you, Lucas. Can you think of anything like off the top of your head?
I'm trying. It's definitely a song where I started with that line. You know what I mean? Like sometimes. I mean, sometimes I will write like I refer to it as like the money line.
I know exactly.
You know what I mean?
Because I was thinking that like a lot of my favorite kind of lyrics paired with moments, like the lyric itself, like if you just said it in a sentence, like might not, if you said it flat, might not be all that impressive, but the way it fits with the music and the emotion of the song, it's very pivotal. Like in Really Big Shrimp, like right before the breakdown, like make no friends, take no risks, no one gets to fuck with this.
Yeah,
Like
funny.
that's really good. It just hits so hard in that moment.
think-
I like screaming that alone in my car.
I think I think my favorite part of Shrimp is actually the very end, and I think I like it because a lot of people who I've talked to about it have kind of misunderstood that line. So it's the phrase is I cherish a time where nobody paid attention, where I sang and I played and I vented and 25 people shrugged. I cherish my life before all the sudden potential. For 25 minutes I'm special. As soon as they're over, I'm not. And so for me, I think people hear that last couplet, the for 25 minutes I'm special. As soon as they're over, I'm not, and they hear it as a defeat, or they hear it as like as soon as the set's over, I go back to being like no one. Whereas I actually love that. I love that I only get to, the not the anonymity, but the decision, to be in front. I like having the kind of control of whether or not I'm in front of people. And I feel like, when you take steps to, make music a career and to make art a career, you have less and less opportunities, depending on how well you do. To have that time. There was I think to me there was definitely a relief to when I was starting out, like playing small rooms, playing houses, playing coffee shops, what have you. It was nice knowing that I could just I took a lot of comfort in being able to share my art for however long I got to play, and know that the audience who's there is either friends or doesn't know me and doesn't care, and I get to subject them to 30 minutes of whatever I want.
Yeah.
This is true.
Fair enough.
Again, there's something I think there's something inherently very liberating about that, and I'm in no hurry to make that and to make those moments last longer than they are. I like having people's attention for however long I get to, and I am and I guess it's nice to return to normalcy afterwards.
Yeah, makes sense. Tyler, do you have one?
I'm gonna have to pass, and the reason that is because it's off of a unreleased song.
Okay.
Let's give them.
Yeah,
So, would you guys get in trouble for sharing one lyric?
I don't think we'll get.
I am also curious. 'Cause I am also curious what's the lyric.
I'll
There you
email
go.
your label for you and
I
excuse you of it.
Apologize,
Okay?
yeah.
I will apologize for you.
am a really big fan. We have this moment in the last song on the album where the lyric is, "I'm gonna find my footing. I don't care." What's the lyric? It's like,
Started off good.
I'm gonna find my footing. I don't want to care which way God's looking.
Yeah. I don't want to care which way God's looking.
I like that.
And yeah, just the way we work it into the song is really pretty. So that is my answer.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think honestly the second half of the album, which am I allowed to say that
it's a huge bummer?
None of the singles are on the second half. The lyricism is, I think, my favorite. We have a kind of a different vibe song coming.
We have a lot of different vibe songs.
It's a bit of a bummer.
The vibes are all over the place on the record.
Yeah, yeah, it's just like, yeah, as they should be. But yeah, we've got a bit of a bummer song that I feel like the lyrics, like if I listened to it when I was 16, yeah, like I'd cry.
We nicknamed the last 4 tracks the Depression Gauntlet.
Oh,
That's actually true. We did do that.
oh my god.
That's great.
It's a good flow, yeah.
Yeah. So how'd the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, closer be a closer? Did you shuffle around, see what fits? What was that process like?
Kind of did. In fact, the closer was one of the last songs we wrote, and the working title, or I guess the stand-in title was "Epic Last Song" because we knew we needed it. Like when we write songs, like we kind of, I think, have a pretty good intuition immediately of like what kind of purpose a song will serve, whether or not it would be like a single, or whether or not it would be like an album track, or an opener or a closer, or to start a thing or finish a thing. Like we have a good sense for that. But also the record works out where
That's cool.
Yeah, the record works out kind of interesting where it's 11 tracks, and it's also separated by tunings. So the first 3 songs are one tuning, the next 3 songs are different tuning, the last 5 are different tuning.
Okay.
And so it works really well as not only a record but also as a set.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you make it that way so you could just play it front to back live?
I think part of Lucas really, really wanted it to work out that way, and I think he slyly made it happen because I don't know, just that when you think of it that way, it sits really nicely in your mind.
But
like, that's nice.
Another big part of this track listing, I think we were meticulous about a lot of it because some songs we were like, okay, this for sure needs to lead into this song.
Yeah.
Other songs, we wrote and we were like, damn, this is a dope song, but it necessarily didn't have like its spot. But yeah, some songs definitely did have like a place, whether it be the front or the back. Or
like Monk, we wrote that and we were like, this is a single, and we were like, this is the second track.
Yeah, we decided that was a second track almost
like,
immediately.
This will hit.
It was again another one of the I think we wrote the not the chorus riff but the main riff that happens at kind of towards the beginning of the song in 2020. And I think in December of 2020 we were like kind of revisiting it because we'd forgotten about it, and we were like, oh, what are we gonna put here? And then I like it just I don't know, like I guess that chorus riff kind of came out of nowhere, and I was like, here, like now we have like this section that's like uplifting to contrast with the kind of more down, more downtrodden. I mean, if we're gonna get into theory, like I guess the first big riff is in the relative minor of the key, and the chorus riff is in the relative major. So to kind of go to a more uplifting thing, to be like, okay, well, how can we take this and really run with it? And so whereas like kind of when it is in the relative minor key, it's like kind of describing my predicament, and then when we get to the chorus, it's like, oh well, here's the solution. And that kind of contrast I really liked, and also the kind of the very kind of approachable rhythm of that hook too.
Sure.
Like
So could you guys tell us where your headspace is at while you were creating this album?
It's another difficult question to answer because again, it was such a big gap in time.
So like the one track that we've been working on for a while, I think that one's interesting because I think it's one of the most different tracks on the album. And I think that one's interesting because we wrote it like during the time like pre-Buttersock release. So that was like in-person collaborative. And then the pandemic hit. And we actually wrote a few songs over FaceTime. And I feel like our vibe generally then was, it was a lot of reflection, I think, but it was also very like, we were so motivated to the point where we were willing to write songs over FaceTime. I think just because of like, you know, quarantine, there's a lot of attention on the music scene because, you know, people had nothing to do.
Yeah.
And then kind of like after that like first lockdown period, I feel like you know, the initial lockdown was kind of fun. Everyone was like, I'm gonna do a new hobby and stuff. And then like when the winter of 2020 hit, it just, everything got kind of sad.
Yeah.
And I feel like us writing was kind of like that was the only thing any of us did. Like we were like hardcore quarantiners. Like we wore masks to practice, just the three of us. Like, so it was kind of like a hopeful thing. Like it was a pretty somber time, and this was like the good in it.
Yeah, that's really accurate. Actually, I never even thought about that.
And how did you guys like adjust to writing in the pandemic and in quarantine and everything? Because it sounds like you guys were collaborative in-person writers before the pandemic. So what was that switch like?
So initially it was like definitely weird. We do a lot of writing where it's like, you know, Lucas will send a riff over and I'll listen to it on my own time and then come back to him and be like, hey, I think we should do this. And we kind of like bounce back and forth until we see each other. But the issue with the pandemic is, you know, we couldn't. So writing over FaceTime, I mean, like, I didn't have a drum set, so, you know, I'm just tapping on my knees. Helen didn't really have did you even have a bass in front of you? I think you were just like... I did.
I
don't even remember.
You're just dreaming it up in your head.
I don't even remember. I just remember Lucas playing on, like, guitar, like, acoustic guitar, and everything was, like, very delayed. So it was, like, it was difficult, definitely.
It was really funny. So I like went through like pretty much all of our photos ever a couple weeks ago, and I found a screenshot of us from FaceTime, and like Lucas has his guitar, and then Tyler, you have a guitar, and so Tyler can play the guitar, but you just don't have much like training.
Yeah, I'm like something.
Yeah.
And the screenshot is of like Tyler like pointing to a fret and asking Lucas what fret it is. It's really funny, and I was like, I can't believe we were writing this way. Like it was.
Was
bad.
I bald at this time too?
Yeah, and Lucas
was also bald.
Head was shaved too. If it gives you like a better idea.
Yeah, but where we were at as people.
I think that at least once in your life, I think every person, if they get a chance to and they're willing to, at least once in their life, should get to know what their scalp looks like.
I did it. It made great memes that still go on to this day.
Yeah, we still use it today.
That's awesome.
Just to collect knowledge, because like that's like one part. Like
I don't know what my scalp looks like.
Some people go their entire lives never knowing.
It's
exactly.
true. I don't know.
It's important to know.
I mean, I don't know if I want to know what my scalp looks like. What if it's like a weird shape? Like,
you got a bumpy scalp, yo.
Exactly, like
fuck, right?
I don't really care. I think I like the way I am now, and I'm very satisfied.
Exactly,
No,
I
I'm on
like
Lucas's
not
side
knowing.
here.
Bro.
Yeah.
I just know my scalp is fine, but nobody else needs to know.
Okay.
Exactly.
But I think obtaining knowledge is important. Like I went to Temple for 4 years. There are probably like 30 buildings on the campus, and I've only been in like 10 max. That's 20 buildings of a college that I've never been in.
Do you know
I mean,
that's the world, bro, that you're never gonna go.
Now think about how many people are in those buildings and the amount of scalps that there are.
Oh my
The amount
god.
of scalps you've never seen.
No one sees
Never.
the
The amount of
scalps.
people
So
in
horrible.
those buildings that have never seen their own scalp.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
crazy.
It's insane.
Well, after this record, I'll be on a mission to
Scalp
raise
a bunch of
awareness.
people.
No.
At Carly
Oh,
Cosgrove
no.
shows, it's going to be required to have a shaved head.
Exactly. Shave heads at doors.
Perfect.
We are not violent people.
I know. There's a joke. Anyway, Lucas, did you have an answer to the question?
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Yeah, I don't even remember what the fucking question was.
It's kind of happy stuff.
Space.
Writing process.
Headspace.
Headspace. Headspace.
Where was
Yeah.
your head besides in your scalp?
Sad.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was pretty bummed. Let's see. I mean, you know, I kind of I kind of I had a feeling that when the pandemic first hit that it was not going to go away in 2 weeks. Like I kind of knew from the beginning. I was like, we're gonna fuck this up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Correct.
I at first I was pretty used to it. Initially, I was like ready because like I in my brain I felt a lot going on, and I think it was kind of liberating to to not have to leave the house. To be honest, for the first, however, for the first like 2 or 3 months or so, I was sleeping in the basement of our home because my sister and her at the time significant other, they were sleeping in this room. And I kind of felt like, I kind of felt pretty detached from everything, but I kind of reveled in it too. So I was in a spot where like I could focus on, I think, on the band maybe more than I ever really got to before.
Yeah.
And it was weird. Like I was basically living in this like 12 by 12 room in the basement. I was sleeping on a couch with like and like next to me like I had like a drum set, and I had like like a piano and a guitar like, to practice on and stuff. And so like I it was kind of a weird time because I feel like I was just encouraged to just create by just the general circumstance of where I was. And I think that was a really good time. And then I think towards the winter life started to kick back in again, and there were aspects of just life, and at the time I was still at school, that were getting pretty difficult, and I felt like I was carrying a lot of new weight. And so I still got that time of isolation, but I also had a lot of more responsibilities. And as in dealing with those responsibilities, I encountered a lot more anguish. So I think on the record, I got to write about a lot of that. And so some of the songs are a little more uplifting, some of the songs are pretty bummery. And the songs that are a little nicer tend to take place towards the beginning of quarantine.
Okay.
You're totally right, though. I was thinking that.
Like probably the most optimistic song on the record, we'll call it track 4 for now.
Is Tracklist not out?
Oh, Tracklist is out.
I don't know if it is.
I think when you look at the vinyl, you can see it.
Well, also
it's like unofficially out.
It's
Okay.
on Bandcamp. You can see it on Bandcamp, and you can see it on Apple Music. So
I don't fucking know.
Sorry, Spotify.
And I would just like to say, I think that it's hilarious that Lucas had access to the drum kit and not the drummer of the band. I just think that's great.
So, well, yeah, Helen and I live in like a walk-up apartment, and I just like don't really have space or like no neighbors, so it's kind of hard to have.
You were in a basement unit in the city of Philadelphia, and if you drummed, everyone would hate you.
Yeah, I actually did.
You made.
Yeah, when I was practicing to record the album, I made a deal with our landlord to let me put a drum set in the office space in like the first floor of our apartment. So like I just had like a drum set up in this like empty office, and I used to practice in there. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, I didn't have anything at my disposal.
Fair enough.
It's fair.
So how do you guys recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should they do it in the car with friends in the dark with headphones on? Is it a party album, workout album? What do you guys personally recommend?
A workout album.
I do not.
Imagine working out to this.
It's definitely not a workout album. If you work out to this kind of music, I do think
God bless.
I do think you should seek help.
No, I think
or maybe you'll get like swole, dude.
Exactly.
I don't know. How should you listen to this album?
Probably, yeah. Like just.
Does anybody have like a typical like listen to new music like routine? Like I feel like when I want to listen to something, I go to my car.
Well, it depends who puts the album out. No, I think it's a valid question. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like everyone should do what feels natural to them.
Yeah.
Like the new Gunna album. You're not gonna listen to that like like by yourself in headphones. Like I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like
Yeah,
put it on at
it's
like the
not.
kickback. Yeah.
This could be an alone album.
Yeah.
But I think that if you have a friend you love Carly Cosgrove with, listen
Put it
to
on the car.
Listen to it over a cup of tea.
There you go.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah.
I like
A
that.
cup of tea. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think I don't know. I think this is a car album.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is definitely a car album.
Yeah, it's a car album for sure.
I think
Right.
any album's a car album.
It's
Yeah.
also I think it's also a it's definitely a sit alone in the dark with headphones or good speakers album.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
If I was going to listen to this for the first time, I would probably put it through nice speakers and then find honestly, if there was a CD version of this that existed,
You love a CD.
I do.
love a CD.
I'm one of the
He
last.
loves
I'm one of the
a
last holdouts for CDs. I still buy CDs.
Fair enough.
Too.
Wait,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
You like
Yeah.
CDs?
I love CDs. I collect vinyls and CDs. For some reason, I'm leaning more towards vinyls now, even though it hurts my bank account.
I'm also leaning more towards vinyl,
I
but
respect
I,
it.
Yeah.
I did buy CDs recently. I got EXO by Elliott Smith and a record by Sparta.
Oh, that's cool. I just have like a whole case full of CDs that I've bought over like the past
Yeah.
3 years or whatever. So it's nice, but I don't really spin them often.
You
I
guys,
think any kind of like form of like collected physical media is pretty cool, and I don't think the purpose is to use it practically.
No,
Mhm.
I use it for
it's to look at it.
Okay, CDs
I
are
agree
a good
with Helen.
example.
Mhm.
I have like a shit ton of old comic books that I've collected.
Ooh.
I do not read them very often
Yeah.
because it's just not convenient
Yeah.
to like open up the thing and then pull out the comic and then like do the
Mhm.
same thing with the next issue and stuff when like
Yeah.
most of them are very accessible online. But it's cool as fuck.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have my favorite records on vinyl, but I don't really listen to vinyl often. So.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think any kind of physical form of media that's becoming obsolete is more so for the meaning that the possession owns.
Mhm.
or like the art on it. I think
The art on
also
it.
probably too. It's playing a CD or putting on vinyl is kind of like using like the fine china when guests come over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
definitely a power move to instead of
Yeah.
like spinning the aux, like spin a record.
Hmm.
Yeah.
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 That's a classy look.
One of our
Yeah.
favorite bars
Do that on a first
exclusively
date.
spins vinyl.
It's true. Yeah, one of my
That's so
favorite
cool.
bars in Philly.
Oh, the pub? The Pope?
No, Fountain Porter.
Do they really? They spin vinyl?
Only
Yeah.
vinyl.
That's
Only
really
vinyl.
cool.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Are you able to bring like your own vinyl, or do they have like
That
a
would be
very
sick.
limited
That'd be
selection?
sick. I'd be like, yo,
Yeah.
put this on.
Exactly.
I think they'd kick us
This is
out.
by.
Oh.
We make everybody drunk at like 3 a.m. in South Philly listening to our music.
That's a power move, though.
There'd be a lot of tears, I
right.
think.
You're right.
Yeah.
We recommend you
Really
listen to
is.
us in a noisy bar.
There you go.
That
There you
is,
go.
like, that is so not the vibes. But
Like we wanted, like you can kind of faintly hear it. Like you have to like fight through like someone's conversation about like stocks, and you have to fight
Oh,
through
God.
someone else's conversation
Stocks.
about like why won't this person go out with me to hear
To hear
you know,
your music. Yeah.
I
Wow.
hate it when a song comes out of the bar that you really like, and you like have to fight to hear it. Like we
Mhm.
actually, when we just finished recording our album in
Yeah.
a Headroom,
Mhm.
we were at a bar in North Philly, and Cloud Busting by Kate Bush came on, and I got pumped, and I was like dancing to like barely audible music.
Oh.
yeah, I do not remember. I do not remember being able to hear the music.
Yeah. Thanks. All right. So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your heads, I want you guys to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less. All 3 of you have to do it.
Sexy.
Always.
Okay, that's one.
That's the first
I
word.
hate us.
What's the
It's
next
3 words
one?
each.
3
Oh,
words each. Yes.
Each, yeah.
Think
Okay.
harder, but
Okay, so sexy,
Mm-hmm.
voluptuous,
Okay.
God.
Mhm.
And big.
Okay.
There it is. There it is.
I have two. I don't want to say it until I have all three, though.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, what you thinking?
Can you even top Tyler's answer, honestly?
Okay, first word is boom.
Oh, okay. Boom. Great.
Second word, yup.
That's a good one. That's a good
All
one.
out of honesty is.
What's the third one, bro? What's the...
Ooh. Zap.
So, we're way too stupid for this. Sorry, y'all.
Oh, you're doing
Sorry.
great. This is awesome.
They're like quick 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're coming up on 30 minutes right now. I'm sorry to tell you we're going to be here longer than 30.
Yeah.
Nothing,
No, you're fine.
nothing about us is quick. There's an 8-minute song on this record.
What's your 3 words, dude?
My 3 words are authentic,
Mhm.
bombastic,
Mhm.
and visceral.
There
Okay.
you go.
There we go.
So smart.
Yeah, his those are good.
Those are perfect.
So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want your listeners to have with going through the album?
Okay.
If you ever like it's existential crisis at the function.
I feel like that fits because I
Yeah.
was going to say, like, there's something that would make me feel like I'd want to think about my friends. And I think it makes me feel nostalgic
Yeah,
as well.
I agree.
I think I think we definitely do write songs that we set out with the goal to like write engaging music. Like that's like we really want to create a lot of things that a lot of what we do was focused on setup and payoff and like expectation and like kind of foregoing that expectation. So we do try to write songs that are really exciting. So it's not always like we don't really always get that like pensive slow burn thing going like a lot of other bands might or like a post rock band might. Yeah. So it's kind of tough. Like I think probably one of the biggest challenges tone wise on this record was to mediate between writing fast paced energetic music while also having lyrical content and themes in the music too that were kind of had more gravity and were a little heavier. And I hope that I hope that we kind of achieve a good balance between those two things, because I think there is a little like there's kind of weird dissonance from like you're playing a banger but like you listen to the words and like this is a bummer like
Yeah.
like there's there's a wrong way to do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
I feel like that's really fitting because our band started as like we would play like college basement shows and everyone would be drunk but everyone would be screaming these like very serious lyrics and like that's literally like how this band started, and I just think that it's like very funny that because I feel like we're not very like we're party music in the sense that like we're very like DIY basement band but like we're not like party music.
Yeah.
Because like if you actually listen to the lyrics, like they're so meaningful and serious, but like that everyone would be like trash. It would be a great time.
What's that like?
I think existential dread at the function is a good way to describe it.
Right.
Would you call it a panic
You've been there.
at the disco?
No.
Was that
No.
was your entire explanation a lead up to that?
No, it was not. It was not.
I wouldn't put it past you.
I'd be very mad.
I didn't think about it, but I chose not to say it, and then I decided to say it anyway.
I love it. I love it.
But also, I think another side note is we've as a band from Philadelphia, we've gotten to some of us experience, others of us, meaning me, learn about retroactively a really interesting culture of music that existed in Philadelphia specifically.
Yeah.
And I think that more so on this record than the last one, I think we kind of tried to dig in and really, not, I don't want to say like pay a little respect, but like in a way like pay a little respect and kind of pay a little homage to, a lot of those old songs. Like there are like little winks and nods to other records.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
there is.
I
I think, probably leave it. I don't want to give any out.
Yeah, there
For
are
other
some
people to
nods.
figure out.
I don't know
Alright.
if I figured them out.
That's okay.
So, what is your favorite memory that you guys made while creating this album?
For me, honestly, the like culmination of it, when we went in to record it, I know like that's such a simple answer, but it's like it really was a dream. We were lucky enough to record with Joe Reinhardt of Hop Along and Algernon, all these amazing bands, and I mean working with him was just like spectacular. He'd like we had an idea of what this wanted to sound like going in, and he was just a dream to work with. And he made this album exactly what we wanted. So
He definitely encouraged us to find more of a focus and, kind of find more of a middle ground and find more of a theme, in all the stuff we were doing, but also kind of, gave us a lot of, room to move around and kind of assert what we wanted to. And bless Joe and Kyle and Johanna for like all of the everything.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
yeah,
We went in for so many rounds of mixes. We did not deserve it. But
They made it work.
yeah, they made it work.
great.
Um,
Okay, I have two memories.
Okay.
Okay, so one, during recording, Joe Reinhardt is a gem of a human. That man's just hilarious. I was so sad when we finished recording because I was like, oh man, I don't get to wake up and go hang out with Joe.
Yeah.
There was one point during when Lucas was maybe recording vocals or something, but it was just Tyler and I and Joe in the room, and Tyler and I started talking about how stupid one of my dogs is.
Oh.
And no, he's I love him to death. He's just not. There's nothing behind his
George?
eyes. Yeah.
George the dog.
And we
George.
started telling Joe about this, and he just thought it was the funniest thing ever, and we were dying laughing.
Yeah.
Do you
there was
remember?
one
I
early
do
on, too,
remember.
day 2, we were talking about something.
I remember.
Oh, okay. I forget, which is probably why.
There was a lot of funny moments with Joe, but I also a week or so before we went in to record, maybe 2 weeks, Joe was messaging us through the chain of commands of label manager us and stuff,
Oh.
and he was tell them they should be practicing every free second they have.
Yeah.
So I work a lot of late shifts at my job. So this was maybe I was probably working till 8 p.m. this night, and then drove home from Delco to Philly to practice. And it also happened to be my birthday, and it was maybe one of the last days before we went in to record, and we were in Lucas's West Philly really dusty ass basement, really shitty setup. We were going over the songs and everything, and I got there and Lucas and Tyler had gotten me cupcakes for my birthday and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Aw.
I forgot about that. Aw.
And then they made me take a shot of water. It was really cute.
It was her 21st birthday.
Yeah,
Helen
it was
doesn't
her
drink, so we made her
21st.
take a shot of water.
So it was just very sweet that in the midst of all the craziness, we still had
I forgot about that. Aw, that's so cute.
I love that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I can think of a couple of memories. The last thing we recorded
Okay.
at Headroom was the Screamin' Monk.
Oh yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the last thing we recorded in that room. We had to do some stuff we actually recorded some stuff in this room because we ran out of time at the actual space.
Yeah.
The last thing we recorded at Headroom was that long ass scream at the beginning of Monk.
Yeah.
And I think we got it in a couple takes, and we were like, "Yeah, that's it." And then we headed out to celebrate.
Yeah.
But
a good time.
another thing that I remember was I think I was giving Joe mixed notes, and one of them was I was I want it to sound. I I wanted to sound like this section of the song. I was like, I wanted to sound really claustrophobic and really overcompressed and really like close to you. Think like Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's an extreme example, but like that kind of vibe. And then he responds, "Heard you loud and clear. Make my band sound like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Got it."
Yeah.
That's great.
He is a very, very like amazing person.
Yes.
I love him, and I haven't even met him.
Exactly. Yeah.
So picture this: you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Ooh. Skyline chili.
No.
I would okay. I feel like my first instinct would be something sweet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm a
It
big.
depends what time of day.
I'm tripping. I know what mine
Depends
is.
what's
I'm a
my
big like. Okay, y'all know like gummy candy, right?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Do y'all know the gummy blue sharks?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I lock in my answer. That's it. That's
Okay.
what I mean.
Taste.
I got
Fucking delicious.
Mhm.
like the triple shot mocha Starbucks in the
Love
can,
that.
Ooh.
and
Yeah.
like
Can not bottle.
and Pop-Tarts. And
Wait,
yeah.
What do
Yeah,
you have against the bottled one? I'm sorry, I'm stuck on that. I
Oh,
love
the
it.
bottle one's great too.
I don't.
just-
I
I go
don't.
for the can because of the caffeine. Like I
Oh.
think you're going towards probably we're probably driving and we're probably tired.
Dude,
Mhm.
the bottle will fuck me up enough.
Apparently, you're supposed to mix that with ice.
Really? Interesting.
I think I heard that somewhere. You're supposed to
Nobody's
blend it
has
with
time
crushed
for that.
ice and make it
No.
a cappuccino.
Nobody has time.
Yeah,
for
I
that.
know.
No.
that shit.
The whole
Drink that.
point of those is when you need something, or you need quick coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Pay a
What
lot
is-
of
what
money
is
for
your
quick
snack?
coffee.
My snack?
What you getting, son?
I don't know. It totally depends what time of day.
Let's say nighttime.
Nighttime?
hmm
Fuck.
You went.
Like Pringles, maybe?
Okay.
I
I feel like
like
you
sure?
sometimes.
I like some Cheez-Its. I really, I can't say because I'm so full right now because we had amazing tacos.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's not on my mind.
Oreos, I feel like. Are,
Oh, yeah,
I
you
I'm
were
trying,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what we had on tour with us.
Yeah.
And like when you said like at a gas station, my mind immediately went to when we got that flat tire in Kentucky.
Oh yeah. Fuck
Oh.
that.
Sorry to make answer take like way longer than you probably
No, it's fine. It's fine. You guys are great. It's fine. It's fine.
Thank you.
We're
You're
storytellers.
great. You guys are great.
Storytellers.
Storytellers.
So, on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be?
Whoa.
Really big.
Did you say shrimp?
Just straight up shrimp.
Just
A
shrimp.
shrimp ring.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
shrimp. Do y'all know what a shrimp ring is?
Yeah.
Okay. Shrimp ring?
Yeah.
Or, what was the other option?
Wait.
It's shrimp cocktail, right?
No,
Okay,
but
if
it's called like a.
If you
Okay, do you call? Wait, this is very chaotic.
What is happening?
Okay, is it shrimp ring or shrimp platter?
yes.
Fucking no.
I feel like it depends on the occasion. If it's at like a party and it's out like on a table, it's a shrimp platter. But if you're
Okay.
like carrying one around, it's like a shrimp plate.
No. We're saying shrimp ring. So,
Oh,
like,
ring. I mean, yeah. The one that's in like it's like a black
Yeah.
plastic.
Oh, you
that
know
has
it.
the top-
Yup.
Yeah, I know
You say
that.
shrimp ring, and
Yeah.
I in my brain I just see like jewelry.
Like a shrimp.
Like a bedazzled
like,
strip.
I see.
Carly Cosgrove
I see
ring.
somebody.
Yeah.
Like, when the
No.
album-
I see somebody getting down on these propose, and they open up a small box, and inside is a small ring of like
Small,
a
tiny
you've never seen.
Okay.
With
So,
like a little
what
cocktail
dish
sauce.
are we?
A shrimp ring.
Yeah.
What do you mean a shrimp ring?
Because it's like a little fishy, but also tangy.
I don't like that we're fishy. I feel
Yeah. I don't think it's a positive.
I would agree.
I'm
All
rolling
right.
with.
I want to say a taco.
Is it
'Cause
because
that's
you just
what
said
yeah.
tacos?
Probably.
Highly possible.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Are
Do
we
you
all
have
in
any-
agreement of tacos?
What?
Yeah, that's tacos, yes.
Okay,
Do
tacos.
you have any reasoning behind tacos?
there's a lot of different things on it. There's a lot of different things in our music.
Yup, you could do
Okay.
all types of shit.
Right?
Are we
Yeah.
a
And
savory
it all
food or a
comes
sweet food?
together to be delicious, and I feel like we eat lots of tacos. So
We do eat
like
a
when
lot
I
of
think of
tacos.
what I eat with
Okay.
these fellas, a taco.
It's a
taco.
taco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it? I'm sorry. One more. Then you can go, Shane.
Okay.
Is it like a hard shell taco or a soft shell taco?
No, not the hard. Not the hard. No,
Okay,
no.
good. I was a little worried.
Okay.
Okay.
No, you
Soft
don't.
shell.
What, the
Never.
build your own taco kit? You get a fucking.
I
No,
got
we
it.
don't do that.
I got it.
Okay.
I got it in soft shell because I have braces.
Oh.
Fair enough. All right.
We don't have time to unpack all that.
Okay. So for the last couple of questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Right on.
Oh yes!
So-
Right on.
If you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink? I feel like this is going to be chaos.
Okay, with a drink. All right, straight up, 20-piece nug. Cause like, all right, if
From
you think
where?
about it, right? I don't care. You can have 5-star dining. I used to be a cook. I know all about that shit. But like,
Okay, okay.
at the end of the day, all you need is like a 10-piece nug. Now I say 20-piece nug because if I'm full,
Mhm.
it's not gonna matter.
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of a drink, probably a milkshake.
Ooh, what type of milkshake though?
What's it called when they do like a black and white?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I would think either steak or salmon,
Mm-hmm.
some form of potato, mashed, smashed, roasted.
Mm-hmm.
They all,
Fries.
Yeah.
they all
Boiled.
They all fucking bang.
Yeah, yeah.
Loaded.
Drink either Yahoo milk chocolate.
Okay.
Is it Yoo-hoo?
It's you, not Yahoo.
Yoo-hoo?
I thought it was Yahoo. Okay. Yahoo milk chocolate or Wawa sweet tea. I don't know if y'all know.
Ooh,
I have no idea where you guys are from.
I'm in Jersey.
I'm in Virginia.
Okay, so
Can
what
we
else?
get
there?
Wawa?
Oh,
Yeah.
y'all have Wawa?
Yeah.
Well, Glory
Of course we have, yeah.
lived here
Wawa's
for a little bit, so
in my
she
brain.
knows.
When I was like
You
2
know
months
what Wawa
old.
is, Glory, because when you were
There's
2
a
months
Wawa
old, you
down
went
the
to the
street
Wawa
from me.
once.
In my
There's
brain,
a Wawa
Virginia
down the street.
Wawa
When
is
you're
like
2
in the
months
middle of like a forest, and like it's like an oasis in the middle of a forest when your family is going down the coast for like a beach trip. And there's just a Wawa there.
There's always a Wawa.
What's your last meal, dude?
I would get something where it's like an endless app, so I can live longer.
There you go.
As long
And
as
you have a drink?
Just fuck with them.
They can't kill me if I keep eating.
There you go.
That's fucking right.
hmm
True.
And do you have a
Um,
drink with the endless apps?
Endless drink.
I love the attention to details in this.
No,
interview.
I mean,
come on.
I mean, if we're doing a real answer, I would get like a large dish of like a large plate of sushi rolls and
Oh,
probably like water. Although I really would miss because nothing else really pairs with sushi well. I like
Wait.
yes, I want a chocolate milkshake, but,
After the sushi.
Oh,
like, yeah,
That's
you know
so
what I mean? Like,
gross.
yeah, like because then you got the
I guess
aftertaste of
I'm built
sushi.
like a Sprite goes well with sushi.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe like a lemonade.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sprite does go kind of. Sushi and like a Negroni. I don't know why I'm on the. I'm on.
You
this.
are on the Negroni.
I don't know why.
What is that?
It's like a cocktail.
hmm
It's like Campari and gin and something else.
hmm
It's good.
All right.
Awesome. So, if you guys could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Maybe the Willy Wonka factory?
No.
Good
Yeah,
answer.
that's a
Why
good
not?
Good answer.
Why
one.
not? It's gonna kill you.
The Oompa Loompas?
Dude,
Imagine
it-
being an Oompa Loompa.
I
How
would be
dope
vibing
would that
with
be?
Mhm.
No. You'd be Augustus Gloop the fuck up.
I would be.
Oh!
Because this glue.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh,
What?
Alright. Either Avatar The Last Airbender world. I want to be an airbender. Or Marvel Comics Universe.
There you go.
Era 1980s.
Ooh, specific.
I'm trying to think of a show I like.
I feel like you're gonna pull something really.
It's gonna be
odd out of
obscure.
your
I
ass.
agree. It's going to be like strange, but I can't think of.
Something strange enough.
Well, see, because I wouldn't be going for. I'm trying to I don't mean to like make this a more difficult question for any. Like, should I go based on like the characters that I'm going to see in this world, or should I go on just the world specifically?
So usually people are like, oh, I want to go to the MCU so I can hang out with like Spider-Man or whatever. But they also, because they never want to go to the MCU just to be there and possibly be in danger. So a lot of people usually look at it from the character standpoint rather than kind of like the world itself.
Yeah,
but it's really up to you.
I wouldn't want to be in danger.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like a place that I want to. What mythical world would I go to? Ohio. I have another non-answer. In the DC universe, you know how there's like Metropolis is like right across the river from Gotham.
Yeah.
Those cities are supposed to be like Wilmington, Delaware, and somewhere in New Jersey. They're not New York and Chicago.
What?
Yeah.
Gagged.
So just so you know, Batman is protecting Wilmington, Delaware.
Oh.
Or Superman is, and Batman's protecting like Trenton, New Jersey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of like not like yeah. Gotta say, it's just like
all places to save.
Yeah, Trenton.
Right,
because like Avengers World is
Just
like
kidding.
it's just the U.S. as it exists, but the Avengers also exist.
Right, that's what makes it so cool.
But see, like I have bad luck. Like I would have gotten erased in the snap.
Yes, you would have.
I would have.
Mm.
So I
would
wouldn't
not
want to
have.
do.
I would be a superhero.
I wouldn't want to do MCU. You would have been a superhero.
Thank you.
What superhero would you have been?
Yeah, what's your power?
We don't have time for all that.
You think
We don't
We
have time
always
to
have
pack all
time for
that.
it.
in the MCU, do you think they would have Captain Marvel and just kind of like fucked off to go somewhere else until like they really needed you?
No, I would like to be like a at-night operating vigilante.
So Moon Knight?
Okay.
Vigilante?
Okay.
Yeah, bro, I can't. I literally can't with you.
Vigilante.
A vigilante?
Dude.
What do you say for me again?
Hell, I love you. Vigilante.
Vigilante. My powers are magic based. I have a sword.
Mhm.
I have a sword.
Okay.
You sound like what's her name? I can't Angelina Jolie in the new movie with the
Straight
gosh,
up,
guy.
I did not watch it, I'm sorry to say. The
You didn't?
No.
Eternals, thank you. Yeah, because she has like a magic sword thing that she can kind of like transform into like a spear or anything. It's kind of cool, but
Right.
yeah.
So Lucas, you still haven't given us an answer yet.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't think if we're going based on characters, just because it's fresh in my mind, I would like love to have been in the house from Silicon Valley. I think that would have just been really funny to just see all those exchanges between the housemates. But if we're going just like for the setting alone, yeah, okay, wait. If I can't be harmed, I think it'd be really cool to visit Columbia from the BioShock franchise.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. That's fair.
Locking it in. So
Final answer.
I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to has said that it is the most important question.
Wait,
What-
this is the last one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
We spoke for an hour.
Yeah,
We
it's
went
been an
30
hour.
minutes over what we told you.
Thank you.
This,
Thank
I'm telling
you
y'all,
so much.
yeah, this happens. This
Yeah.
happens.
It's all good.
Real love and life.
So what is your favorite color?
I'm a big fan of like hunter green.
Ooh, taste.
And I really also like some blues. Yeah. I also like brown. Yeah.
Okay.
He
Taste.
doesn't have one.
Yeah, you gave us 3 different colors.
I don't have
Okay.
one. Every color is dependent on the other colors it's around.
Okay.
I don't.
Deep answer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I had 3 colors, which made up for them. So.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
I do like
gotcha.
periwinkle a lot. I think that's a
It's a
fun
good
color. I think that like heather gray also is a fun color.
It's also a very good color.
Like deep maroons are also nice.
That's
too.
a good one.
The colors of a record, actually.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Blue grays, yeah, the colors of our records are bomb.
Okay.
So
We'll
true.
just take those.
All right.
Fuck yeah.
Is rainbow a color? Is glitter a color?
That's like answering.
That's like silver.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I love gold.
There you go.
I
There we
didn't
go.
think of
Gold.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
that. Our
aside
friend Santo. Our friend
Yeah, go
Santo.
Yeah, check out Santo Donia. If you look that up, you'll find him. Does a lot of cool work, does a lot of work with us, does a lot of work with other bands. Please give him all your support. If you are in a band, definitely consider commissioning him for live music shoots,
Give him
music
your
videos.
money.
He's a jack of all trades and his work is impeccable. He's a very big reason why we have gotten as far as we've gotten.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to kind of give a general shout out to the city of Philadelphia and all of the amazing musicians, artists, friends that we've gotten to meet along the way. I would like to give a shout out to our label Wax Bodega because
Facts.
they have, really believed in us and encouraged us to, do a lot of really cool things. Shout out to our manager, Allie. Shout out to
Facts.
4333 Collective, a
Facts.
booking agency based out of New Jersey.
Mhm.
Not currently.
Oh yeah, not currently. They're in Philly now. They've been in
Facts.
Philly.
Facts. Wait, that last one was not a fact.
Not
Oh.
bad.
Fact check.
And they've and they have, I think, for our generation of like house show concert goers, I think they have really shown a lot of people what is possible in a local music community.
Mhm.
Yup.
And I guess if there are any parting words that I guess we have is they're pretty much just like at the end of the day, like there is something like I do believe that is the word populism. I think the word's populism.
I learned that in AP US history.
Basically just like I know that I feel like in a lot of communities and a lot of spaces, like basically this, like if enough people are invested in a thing and if enough people believe in something, like you'd be surprised what you can make of it. And I think that we've been a band that has been really lucky to see how when enough people are invested in not just our band, but in the community around it, we've made some really amazing things happen. And I kind of want to, I guess, encourage anyone who's listening to this, like to go out and do the thing you thought about doing for a while, like, and just like kind of really, and show out when you can and if you can, because like you'd be surprised what you can accomplish when enough people get together.
I love
Facts.
those parting words. Facts. All right.
Shout out to you guys.
Yeah, shout out y'all.
Yeah,
Thanks
for
for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Oh,
Of course.
and we love you people.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
You
know,
just
right?
met.
This was awesome.
All right.
Oh yeah. See you next Friday.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Yeah. See you next Friday.
Okay, see you Friday. Well, thank you for sound. This guy's been Carly Cosgrove, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.